Hi, welcome back to
Comet Cooking!
On today's segment, we will be making a Yule log cake for the festive season.
Now for the ingredients. All-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, salt, eggs. I'm not gonna slide those ones. Granulated sugar, sour cream, butter, unsalted, vanilla extract, heavy whipping cream, powdered sugar, mascarpone, chocolate chips, semi-sweet.
Liam!
No, not
You're
necessary.
not good enough.
You will also need a baking pan, parchment paper, and to preheat your oven to 375.
350. First, line your tray with parchment paper.
Make sure your parchment paper is at least an inch above on all sides, so it doesn't.
It needs to be an inch above on all sides so that you can use that to roll the cake and nothing gets stuck.
The first step of baking the cake is mixing your dry ingredients. First is 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. Next is a 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. Next is a teaspoon of baking powder.
And a teaspoon of salt.
Then whisk it all together. Whisk, 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 whisk,
Whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk, whisk,
Everybody! Whisk, 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 whisk. Add butter to your mixture. Whisk together until well combined.
Five tablespoons of sour cream. Next, add the dry ingredients into the wet. Graceful. And mix. Mix.
mix, 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 everybody! Mix, 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 mix.
Now fold in your egg whites.
About half of them, and then we'll do the rest. Alright, so the folding technique is to go up
That's
and
the
the
best
same
spot
spot
on my arm.
and kind of just like around and fold it in.
Yeah, sure.
Now we're gonna put in the rest.
Next up is the mascarpone whipped cream filling. First, 1 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. Make sure it's still cold. Next, 3/4 of powdered sugar. Next is 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Lastly, 8 ounces of mascarpone.
Okay, so you're gonna put a cup of heavy whipping cream in the microwave. You're gonna microwave it until it starts to boil, and then you're gonna take your 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You're gonna put that in a bowl, and then when that's done, you're gonna bring it over to the bowl, and you're gonna pour it over top and mix it together.
Hey, look, it just boiled.
You pour it over the top.
It's to help it melt.
Really?
Stir it together. So, after you have your ganache all mixed together, you set it aside to cool a little bit, and then taking your cake out of the freezer, or the fridge, out of the fridge after you've let it cool, and the filling, which you've also let cool in the fridge, you're going to carefully unwrap the cake again.
Sorry, I'm not being very careful.
No, you are not. So what we do if it sticks is we take the spatula and we gently remove it from the parts. So ours didn't come out quite as expected. There's a little bit of rips and stuff, but that is okay. It is to be expected with a cake that is still a little warm since we are on a time crunch here.
Next, we're gonna spread the filling all over this cake.
We're going to do that as evenly, as gently as possible so as not to create any more problems with the cake itself. Gently take the cake with the parchment paper. You can come over here and get that. Hold it up and be careful so to remove the parchment paper as you go.
All right, the final step is to pour the ganache over top and make the little bark design. Yeah.
This may also be bad. We are on a time crunch. Such a big one. We're doing our best.
Oh, looks good. It's looking good.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Very nice.
Good. It's gotta taste good.
Smells so good.
Oh my god, it looks amazing.
We're the best.
We're pretty good. Ah!
So, do you know the history behind the cake?
No, tell us, Vitav.
So, the history behind the cake is that you used to go out in the woods and get a big giant log on Christmas Eve and bring it in and throw it in the fireplace and watch the Yule log burn. And then when times changed and people stopped heating their homes with wood, they didn't want to lose the tradition of the Yule log entirely, so they do a cake instead of the actual log burning. And so you would see they would have this for dessert on after midnight mass on Christmas Eve. You would have Yule log cake for dessert.
Awesome.
That's really cool.
All right. Taste test time.
Wait, I'm so hungry. Oh, shake that. This looks good. How hard was it to make?
Hard. It was difficult.
It's really just time. Like if we had been able to wait a little longer, the cake wouldn't have broken and the ganache wouldn't be spilling
The
everywhere.
cake is supposed to break. Logs break. Logs are not like seriously. It's supposed to look like a log. Have you ever seen a perfectly shaped log? Not very often.
That's true.
Not very often. They're supposed to be even shapen and.
How is it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I really like the filling.
We did it!
Guess who made the
Can you give us a thumbs up for the seal of approval? Awesome.
Just